Welcome everybody to another Diablo Immortal video. I'm Skratch. Today I want to share with you guys one of my most favorite solo builds for the wizard in Diablo Immortal. A lot of times you're not going to be able to play with friends, plus a lot of you guys actually prefer to play solo. So that's what I want to share with you guys today. Now, this build will allow us to have a pretty good mobility, group a lot of enemies, deal tons of damage, and do chain massacre kills. The skills that we have on this build at the moment, guys, with the basic, the primary attack, we have the electrocute. I like that we actually get to hit multiple targets with this skill, and just the aim on magic missile with the controller, it just kind of sucks. I do prefer electrocute on the wizard over magic missile. Then we have disintegrate. This is such a powerful skill. I feel like a lot of people really underestimate the power of disintegrate. It literally melts targets. It's one of my favorite skills. I'm pretty much using this on every single build. Then we have the Meteor Strike. This is actually very good, not only to CC waves, but to deal damage as well. And of course, it goes perfectly hand in hand with the Black Hole, which helps us to group a lot of enemies. And for mobility, we actually don't have the teleport. We actually have the Lightning Nova, and I'm going to explain you how exactly this will help us with the mobility. This will actually help us to group more enemies and kind of like give us tons of mobility, move super fast. Now, for legendaries, guys, we actually have, let me quickly show you. For the helmet, we have the Cowl of the Abyss, the Black Hole radius increased by 20%. For the chest, we have the Star Colors Drapery, we have the Meteor radius increased by 20%. So we're able to cover bigger areas with both of these skills. Then we have Searing Judgment. Disintegrate now channels fire, burning enemies for additional damage over time. This is definitely going to help us out quite a bit. For pants, we have the Chaos Nexus. Disintegrate channels up to 3 additional beams at nearby enemies, each continually dealing 630 damage. For the weapon, we have the Entropic Edge. Disintegrate damage increased by 10%. And for the offhand weapon, we have the Siphon. Casting Lightning Nova temporarily increases your movement speed by 60%. That's why we're going to have such a good mobility without actually running the teleport skill. And like this, we actually do damage with the Lightning Nova. We're grouping more enemies behind us and just overall deal more damage, because that's pretty damn important. Now, in terms of legendary gems, guys, and let me quickly show you kind of like the stats that I have on my wizard. Now, in terms of intelligence, I don't have anything too crazy. It's 1149. I would love to get this higher just so I'm able to deal more damage. My combat rating is not as high because at the moment I need to get a lot of upgrades on my set items. You know how I've been away, it's still a lot of catching up to do, especially with the gear, because this requires a lot of farming. So that's kind of like the next thing to do on my list, farming a lot of dungeons. 3658 combat rating. In terms of gems, guys, it really depends what you have available. Now, I have the Fervid Fang, I have the Phoenix Ashes, I have the Sipping Bile, I have the Svanson's Hunting, I have the Chipstone of Flesh. This is more kind of like to recommend you what I would use. Usually I'm trying to put something else just to have a higher resonance all around. Chipstone of Flesh actually works amazing with the Meteor, so very, very important. And of course, we have a Blood-Soaked Gem. Now, you can get a few different gems to use if you have a Power and Command. I don't really like running Echoing Shade because I feel like whenever I'm getting my copies, they're just messing around all the mobs. Either they're not following me anymore, they're staying behind. So that kind of ruins a bit my mojo, because I want the mobs to follow me so I can actually get to group more of them and to don't have to stop every 2 meters just to kill enemies. Lightning Core is actually a pretty solid option for this solo build as well, if you have one of those available. Howler's Call is another awesome option to have, of course. If you have a Berserker's Eye, that's a 1-star gem. Just in case if you're not familiar, let me quickly grab it for you right here. This is a pretty solid gem as well that you can level up. Or Trick Shot Gem. This is actually amazing for the build because your channel skills consume energy 8% slower. Bane of Subjugation is another decent option if you have that available. It really depends what gems you have available. Most of the times I am trying as well to kind of like get some of the best resonance out of everything that I have available there, you know. So that's kind of like what I'm running at the moment. In terms of the set item, having the Grace of Flagellant is literally the best option. It increases the channel damage, the ground damage. So all the skills that we're using, they're gonna get a massive damage boost by using that set. Now, Unfortunately, because I equipped whatever was higher for me just to get my combat rating up, everything is a mess right now, so I really gotta focus on specific dungeons to get the sets in order. But that is the #1 set I would recommend you to run with this build. My Paragon trees are a bit all over the place at the moment. I do have the Vanquisher active at the moment, so just in case if you're not familiar with it, you can activate and deactivate the Paragon tree whenever you guys want. So let's just say you want to go and do PvP now. You can always come back to Gladiator and activate this. You can do this as many times as you want. So I'm kind of like trying the Mastermind, trying a lot of different things in here with the Paragon, experimenting, because hey, that's kind of like part of my job. But I'm having active the Vanquisher because this is going to help me more in PvE. This is not a PvP build by any means, guys. So that's why I'm going to focus more on here, get a bit of more damage, and just overall this will help you more. Now, let's jump over and do an Elder Rift. Let's give it a go. Maybe I'm even going to get a 5 out of 5 gem just because you guys, you're going to bring me luck, you know. So bang, you can do this for movement. It's actually pretty damn cool. Drop the skills here and there because you're going to still be able to move pretty fast like this. Drop some enemies dead, move over to the next one by the time your skill becomes available. And this allows you to move pretty damn quick. It allows you to control a lot of enemies and just generally to drop a lot of kills, because that's going to be pretty important for your Chain Massacre kills. That gives you slightly better XP. Of course, not if you're going in the wrong direction like I've just done it right now, because that can actually help you pretty damn often as well. And that can mess up your entire mojo. Let's move over from here on. Now, the damage on the wizard is not as crazy as on other classes. You know, you can definitely have a pretty good AoE damage, but when you're talking about single targets on bosses and stuff, is not as impressive. You know, this is a pretty good CC. Bang, stun everybody, crack on with Disintegrate. I personally love Disintegrate though. I feel like it's such an awesome skill. Drop another stun there, a bit of more damage. Maybe the gems that are gonna come in play and help us out here. A bit of mobility. Slowly just capture all these elites, because that's gonna help us out quite a bit as well. You see, pretty good Chain Massacre kill, 155 kills. We're getting it pretty straightforward. There's nothing too intense with it. Get to the boss. And now as well, you see, if you would have teleport here, it's not really gonna help you much on the boss. Having this is actually gonna give you more damage. The black hole doesn't do much on the boss, unfortunately. It does a little bit, but nothing too crazy, you know. So that's pretty handy to have multiple skills. That's why Disintegrate, it feels like it's one of the best skills for single target on the wizard, you know. Or if you're running the Ray of Frost, that's fairly decent as well. That's a bit better for CC because of the chill on the enemies. Bang, you got the Elder Rift. Done. Can we get a 5 out of 5? Hell no. But hey, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Or maybe you want to do some solo farm, you want to grind for XP. Most of the times, all these places are crazy packed, right? So you have a lot of full parties coming in here, farming. Having a right build is actually going to help you a lot, because if you're targeting, you're damaging a bit the enemies. Even if they kill them, you're still going to get XP. So you want to have a massive reach and be able to just reach all around on the entire map where you're farming, you know, or be able to move super quick so you get to the enemies in time as well before they get killed. That's actually pretty important. You guys see how he's here. Everybody's kind of trying to smack the opponents, and I got this guy here. I gotta grab it. Maybe I'm gonna get a legendary out of it. Unfortunately, we didn't got one from the goblin. Definitely hit the goblins, guys, because they are dropping legendaries now, just in case if you miss the patch notes. You see, we're dropping that there, dropping the other one there. Use the Disintegrate for chaining different hits to multiple enemies, which is pretty damn awesome. Pairing the right legendaries as well with the right skills, very, very important. Now, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the build. If you're using a different build, I'm curious to know what sort of build you are using on your wizards for the solo grind. But that was all for this video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.